Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, My Quest for a Mile, as we continue setting up this 6.5 Creedmoor. That's actually a towel to try and catch some brass, and there's a white towel over there because the last time I was laying down in the grass, I got like 9 ant bites on my left arm, and they were really itchy for a couple of weeks. So we're out here, we're going to do some more zeroing, and I've got 2 types of match ammo. I've got Federal 140 grain Sierra Match King. This is by Federal, and then I've got 140 grain ELD match through Hornady. I've got 2 types of magazines. I've got a Duramag and then a PMag. So we're gonna do 5 shots out of each magazine. I've got a Right in the Rain zeroing sheet down there. I'm gonna do a separate review on that. So you're gonna wind up seeing the shots up here in this corner, I believe. And we're just gonna see how, if there's any deviation between the magazine. So Corey, who runs BPO Tactical, he told me that magazines can make a difference too. I'm gonna trust him at his word because he is a phenomenal shooter. So yeah, we're just gonna test that theory, put about hopefully 20 rounds through the sheet, see where we're at, and take it from there. So there is a 2-gun match going on next door, so or in the next bay over, so there will be some additional noise. But this is the 140 grain ELD match in the PMag. I've got my cell phone down there recording the paper, and we are going to aim for the top left. You can see 9 squares on there. We're going to aim for the top left. All right. All right, those last 2 were me. I adjusted the reticle the wrong way, of course. That was way high, so okay. That was partly my fault, but pretty good grouping. I'm still working in the 0. So that was the Hornady 140 grain. Hold on. Do you see that? 5 rounds on. 5 rounds on the towel. Okay. We're gonna switch it up a little bit now. We're gonna do the Federal 140 grain. I'm not gonna make any changes to the reticle midway through. That wasn't fair to the Hornady. But we are learning, people. Another thing that Corey told me was the first round, when you send the bolt home, is going to be different than the other rounds because it's not the natural cycle of the weapon. So pay attention to the first round. So we're going to go top right. Double feed there. So I had a double feed and I've got a bad round now. So we're gonna throw that one away. We're gonna add another one. So that we'll take note of that, put it in our back pocket, see if that was just a fluke or that's something more than that. Okay, 5 shots, all high. Okay, so decent grouping. We are going to do the Duramag now with the Hornady, and actually we're going to do the again. So we're going to go bottom right with Federal. I made the adjustments on the scope after the fact this time instead of during. So now I'm going to go at that bottom right that you can see. There's 12 targets on that paper, but we're actually going to go with third down, third on the right. We're going to line this up. Federal, 140 grain. Third one down on the right. All right, so just like with the PMAG, these Federal don't like to cycle. Definitely some cycling issues with the Federals. All right, I 100% did not like that. I guess you would call that a light primer strike. I don't know. Bolt went forward and it fired the round. Not a fan. All right. Getting all sorts of misfeeds. All right. With that Duramag, we had some problems with the Federal, and now we have problems with the Hornady. Instead of wasting more rounds, I'm going to go back to the PMAG, see if we have those same issues when we're going to shoot bottom left. Okay, we are going to do the PMAG again, and since I kind of unfairly tested this Hornady and changed optic midway, all right, that was an absolute fantastic grouping. I will freaking take that. I'm gonna go down there and get a closer look. Duramags, trash, not using them, not wasting any more ammo on them. Federal, probably not using that anymore. The Hornady 140 ELD has really won me over in this short test, but let's head down there and check it out. All right, you saw this. This was the first one. This was unfair to the Hornady because I adjusted the reticle midway. This was the Federal in the PMAG, just high. So after that, I adjusted the reticle up and over to probably about here. And then this was the Duramag, and this was positively atrocious. I don't even know if I could return it. If I can't return it, I might try it with the 308. It might be different. I'm not sure, but I am not using 6.5 Creedmoor. That was terrible. But nevertheless, I don't like the Federal, or my weapon doesn't like the Federal. This is the Hornady ELD. I'm pretty sure there are 3 shots right there. You probably saw that already, whether one, I think it was 3 through like right here. And then I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. That was fantastic shooting. I like the 140. I'm probably going to try the 147 because, you know what? Let's try the 147. Okay, 147 grain ELD. We're going to aim right in the middle of your picture. So, it's decent grouping, but just a little to the left. So, it was on that MOA line to the left. But really happy with the 140 grain. I think we're going to stick with that. We're back at the house, going to do a little recap, and I had a chance to look at the footage of that accidental discharge, and I'm not 100% sure what happened. My finger was coming off the trigger, and it was off the trigger when the bolt went forward, but I don't know if the trigger fully reset. That's the best explanation that I could come up with, because, I mean, even then, you know, this is not a full auto gun in any way whatsoever. So if the trigger did reset, the hammer should have been back. I really don't know. If anybody can offer me an explanation, I gladly accept it. But good learning experience for me. And it just goes to show you how important the rules, the safety rules of firearms are, and that is to always keep the muzzle pointed down range and don't point it at anything you don't intend on shooting. So those are just reaffirmed, and sometimes you need it, and sometimes YouTubers will omit that part and they won't show their mistakes, but I tend to be open and show my flaws, show my mistakes, because somebody might learn from it, and I certainly did learn from it also. But on to the ammo. The Duramag is absolute trash. I'm gonna probably try it in 308, but I really don't think, I was having feeding issues, and it was 1, 2, 3. The third round down would be forward over the lip of the magazine, so it was pointed upwards. It was having feeding issues. Anyway, terrible with the 6.5 Creedmoor. I'll try it with the 308, slightly different case. But the 140 Hornady was fantastic. You saw that last grouping of the 140, not the 147, and it really was a fantastic shot. I think, actually, let's measure it. I measured it off camera. If you measure from the outside of that round to the outside of that round, it was 1.28 inches, which is just over MOA. But that's something that I'm happy with. My shooting ability. Other people might not be happy with that, but I'm happy with that for now. Again, I'm not doing precision rifle shooting. I am hitting a target at distance. So as long as I can hit a target at distance, 1 inch turns into, as you go out with your MOA, you know, your sub MOA gets larger, you know, your target gets larger with 1 MOA as you go out to distance. So that is one of the things that I've learned that other people probably knew about, but I am learning this. Quest for a Mile is a learning experience, and one of the things that I did with 308 that I'm not going to do with the 6.5 Creedmoor is I've got the 140 grain Hornady that I'm going to just go with. I'm not going to mess around spending a ton of money on different brands of ammo. The 140 grain is available. It's not overly expensive, and it's good stuff. A lot of people use the Hornady ELD. So I think the next time we go to the range, we are going to start pushing it out to some distance. I'm going to do the zero stop. I'll do that in a different video. And then, yeah, we are going to do some distance. We're going to put some distance between us. Hopefully we can get out to a mile, 1,000 yards with relative ease. This range goes to 1,300 before it goes to a mile. And a bunch of people said that I probably don't have the MOA on the scope mounts to get out past 1,200 yards, but we're going to give it a try. Like I said in the intro video, these, if they don't work out, will go to the 308. The 308 will go back to the LPVO mount. And yes, very happy with my progress so far. Very happy with the setup of this rifle. I feel like I'm doing it a lot better than I did with the 308 in terms of setting it up. So that's going to do it for this one. Like and subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section below, and we will see you in the next video.